Ho, ho, ho. Now I have a fun switch. Yippee-ki-yay, everybody. Merry Christmas. And I just filmed a video explaining all this awesome federal ammo that Vista and Federal sent to me. And a whole 20 minutes explaining some of these awesome hollow points that I'll be testing and all this ammunition and stuff like that. So make sure you check out that video. This will be the first video where I get a real ballistics expert, and I think I'm getting there. God, I want a job at Federal or Vista or somebody and even learn more. But I got a real ballistic expert answering my very detailed questions, giving detailed answers to try and set things straight. If you don't want to believe me, you can probably believe him, and that's Chris Laack at Federal, Vista, CCI, Speer. He's the Federal, Speer, and CCI handgun program manager, okay? So, like, he's a true ballistics expert. When everyone says HSTs and gold dots are the best, and, you know, those punch and HydroShock deep, those are pretty darn good, too. I'm going to read you verbatim my question and his answers, and this will be part one. He's already given me 2 answers, so he's taking his time. He's a very busy guy, but I like that he's getting back to me, writing sentences, being very detailed. So who is Chris Laack? You may have saw him on the Lucky Gunner video. I'm going to play a couple real short videos here that are going to help explain things a little bit better and then answer his first question. If I can get it to go play.
Really common question we get about personal defense ammo is how does it do through clothing? So we develop all the rounds using the FBI protocol for heavy clothing barrier, which is basically a t-shirt, dress shirt, fleece, and layer of denim. We also use a 4-layer denim test, which is a little bit more extreme. 4 layers of denim is pretty tough, and that's how the bullets are developed. What we consider a failure through heavy clothing would be the hollow point fails to initiate, so the hollow point doesn't expand, and so you get smaller wound channels, and then it also leads to excessive penetration depth. What we're looking for through heavy clothing is big, beautiful upsets, full upset of the bullet, and then reaching that target penetration depth of 12 to 18 inches. What we thought we'd do is let's do a more practical test that shows clothing that is a little more everyday. So what we did is we took the t-shirt, a work shirt, a sweatshirt, and then a Carhartt jacket. So we've got a wide range of competitors' ammo, most of the popular manufacturers on the market we got represented. So once you get to this practical test, you start to see some manufacturers fail and others stand out and separate from the pack. So you can see HST does very well. Again, big, beautiful upsets, good penetration depth, 100% weight retention. We got HydroShock Deep, again, full rate retention, full upset, and really good consistent penetration depths. And some other people start to fall away where you get some that fail to initiate, or in some cases every round fails to initiate through the clothing.
Boom. I'm going to give another short one, guys, because this is also pretty important information from the man himself. Hoping to maybe do, something more in depth with him in the future. But here we go.
The idea of redesigning the HydroShock was there was a lot of elements to the original HydroShock that made it.
There's someone playing in the background.
But we wanted to build on that. Knowing what we know
from a competitor. Ooh, that was interesting.
The core and control the expansion of the projectile. We wanted it to be reliable, repeatable, and get to these perfect depths.
Hopefully I don't get nabbed too bad for
features a more robust center
showing this. I'm going to give my feedback, though, and this is being creative.
Specially formulated propellant, extremely reliable primer, and nickel-plated brass.
So HydroShock Deep, I got the 38 plus P 130 grain, and I'm very, very excited to start doing my testing, both ballistics and point of impact in various platforms, accuracy testing, whatnot. So let's go to the first Q&A questions with a actual ballistics expert from Federal and Speer and CCI handgun product manager. Chris Laack. And I asked him, number one, can you explain how different real calibrated 4-layer heavy clothing organic gel results are than the much less dense, clear ballistics common on YouTube, and how that skews different caliber results because of the diameter and drag differences? Please explain why heavy clothing organic gel matters and clear ballistics results really don't. Let me get a sip of water here, guys. It's very late at night. And he said, and I'm quoting, "There is a significant difference in test results between organic gel and the clear gel products. It varies depending on how the projectiles work, but a guess would be no more than a 70% correlation in expansion and penetration results. Visual wound channels are also drastically different as well as more inconsistent in clear gel. Though the wound channel disruption in gel isn't truly a representation of actual wounding, it does show us a lot about bullet behavior, so this data matters. The clear gel does not interact with projectiles the same way as organic gel. Density is only one factor that is dissimilar. There's also elasticity, resistance due to material makeup, and most significantly, water. Even human bone consists of more than 20% water. Hydraulic force is a significant factor for more expanding projectiles and tissue. The essentially non-compressible nature of water is not replicated with synthetic gel." Now realize how much our bodies are made up of water. That's me. "We do not test anything in clear gel other than to have some idea of what an amateur YouTuber tester may see as a result. There is no such thing as FBI calibrated clear ballistics. The FBI has never provided a calibration spec for it, and the material is far too dissimilar to reference the same calibration spec as organic gel. The FBI stated they have no plans to use the clear gel, so there likely will never be enough research done to determine if correlation would even be possible. Clear gel in the right hands can be used for some basic learning, but for the most part, it's a toy. I kind of look at clear gel versus organic gel for ammunition testing, similar to airsoft versus munitions and force-on-force training. All of our development and testing is done with FBI spec materials. In addition to the organic gel, this includes all barrier materials. Most of it comes from the exact same sources that FBI procures it from." So that is from the expert, and what I've been telling you is clear gel, clear ballistics, does not matter. It makes a smaller diameter, especially fast, small diameter bullets like 9mm penetrate way, way, way farther, like 4 to 6.5 inches farther in clear ballistics than it would in real organic gel. And I've shown you the San Francisco study in 28 bodies. It's pretty darn similar to the real thing, though the real thing has more variance because we're heterogeneous, not homogeneous. There's air spaces and pockets between all the different tissues and organs as a bullet transverses at weird angles through the body and possibly ricochets off bone and all of that. So there is the answer from Federal Speer CCI real ballistic expert busting some of the FUD lore, and the only clear ballistics, in my opinion, that matters a bit is Gun Sam's real world MDF testing, because then it changes. He will have way more still more penetration and less expansion than real organic gelatin, but the ratio becomes similar enough that if you figure out the tissue crush volume of a cylinder, it is very relatable to all the stuff I had on Vista's LE site, as well as all the official Hornady, and now I got all the official old Winchester data, Gun Sam's data. MDF testing at least is comparable caliber to caliber, round to round. Once I figured out figure out the tissue crush and then compare the tissue crush to each other. So look at all the testing, ballistics testing. I'm going to do the point of impact testing with all this great federal ammo. I want to thank JJ and Chris so much, and Chris for answering all these in-depth questions, and look for question number 2 coming up. Thanks, everybody. Let me know what you think.